I'm back, bro.
Wow, colors like a naked horny peacock, strut around with this beauty in your hand, feeling like a rock star. Women throwing their panties at my head. It's a sexy, curvy beauty. It's high-end luxury. It's the wild species folder. It's the animal in me. It has a pearlescent finish on the blade and bearings for a smooth, fast action. The thumb stud fires the blade like a rocket, and it slips easy in the pocket. Don't mess with me, stupid, or I'll whip it into action. A damn hot knife, a beauty to behold. The curves fit your hand like no other as an EDC. It ranks the highest. From the mind of an artist, this design may be their finest. It's clean, it's simple, and perfectly well done. It's a sexy...
Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome back once again. Today I'd like to share with you another new and very special offering from Remette called the Wild Species. Now, this is an incredible knife. Something that completely surprised me when I saw Remette post this up on their Instagram. I instantly knew that I had to have one. Now, Remette has found a home in the premium production knife segment now with several highly successful models, and this Wild Species is the newest in that collection. Here is the first step that they made into more premium knives, and you guys all know the Swordfish by now because that has become a huge seller, and it has crossed a lot of boundaries for a lot of people. That's brought people into the Remette brand that maybe the slightly dressed up, upgraded models may not have appealed to. They came out with a gravity knife that surprised everyone. Now, while I still really like this knife and enjoy this knife, I don't carry it all that much because I don't like crossbar locks. And even though I gave this knife a fair shake when I reviewed it, because it is a great knife, and I made sure people understood that, I also pointed out it's almost going to be impossible to ever get me to like a crossbar or axis style lock. It's just something I'm not a fan of. Luckily, that is completely rectified with the Wild Species because it is a traditional frame lock. It's got silky smooth action, flawless construction, and a clean design that, while handsome, isn't over-designed or obnoxious, even with the overly colorful entropic finish on the titanium frame. Now, entropic is kind of like Timascus on a budget. It's a sweet random pattern in vivid colors that's just a step away from ordinary. Now, I like to have a pop of color in different things in my EDC, which I think is pretty evident as you look across this small spread that I have here. From my flashlights to my one of my absolute favorite slip joints ever by Jack Wolf Knives, to my Stealth Arms Platypus, where I dictated all the colors and where they went because I wanted that Miami Vice theme. This fits in very, very well. I'm actually wearing a quite colorful watch today as well. Now, while many times I will go for more understated looks or monochromatic looks, there are times when I do want a big hit of color, and this knife is definitely going to satisfy that for me. Now, the action, as you'd expect in this price range, is snappy and fast with a very smooth gliding feel. Oops. Now, the thumb stud on here not only looks great, but it's placed in the perfect spot. It's very easy to flick off of, but if you want, you can, front flip it quite easily because of the jimping that's back here on the front flipper tab, which turns into your jimped spine as you're gripping the knife. And speaking of gripping the knife, oh my God, the ergonomics. Look at the curvature from tip to butt all the way through on this. It's a wonderful organic shape that I cannot get enough of. This is one of my favorite overall designs of the entire year from any brand, regardless of the price. And the price, by the way, in case I have forgotten to mention it, is $189. Now, I know for some people that's going to be rather expensive, but for those of us that have been collecting for any length of time and have a lot of other knives to draw experience from, you know that is a fantastic value for a titanium frame lock at M390 with a custom and unique look to it, a unique blade finish, multiple deployment methods, flat-face titanium pivots with pivot collars, a milled titanium pocket clip, and this level of action and overall quality. I think they executed this beautiful design perfectly. And in case I haven't mentioned it in a while, because it's been a while since I've reviewed one with this blade finish, this has Remette's unique and interesting steel finish that they call their pearlescent finish. It does have a nice, clean aesthetic to it, but I still haven't seen much chatoyancy to call it truly pearlescent. But light does sweep across it fluidly and gracefully. Now, another thing is that they're saying that these blades are hand ground. I'm going to look at this and say that the plunges were definitely done by CNC. This is not something that you're going to achieve by grinding by hand. But from the plunge inward, I can absolutely see that being a possibility. So it could be a combination where it's started by machine, they set in the bevels, they set in where they want to have them, and they set the plunges, and then they're done by hand. That's certainly acceptable, and the way some makers do their mid-tech knives. And that always, of course, is going to increase the price because of the slow process for a production knife to hand grind them. Everything in the process bottlenecks at that step. They could do all the machining, everything else that they're doing, and then they've got to take all of these blades, hand them to people to hand grind them on grinders, and then finish up the assembly, setting the detent, setting the lock, doing all these things, and then doing the final finishing. So everything's going to bottleneck at that one area and then go back out into production. So I would expect that this would have cost a lot more money than $189. So I think that's a pretty good deal. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a coupon code for you for this knife, but they are available on Amazon or through Remette's website directly. If they reach out to me and offer me a coupon code afterwards, I will definitely put it in the video description down below. So check that out before you decide if you're going to buy. Before you actually buy, check the description and make sure there is or is not a discount code for you, because I would love to save you money if I'm able to. Anyway, that's my quick look at the Remette Wild Species. Don't forget to subscribe, because not only do I have more amazing cool knives to show you, but I've already talked to Remette about another release. I'm going to be reviewing their Peregrine very, very shortly as soon as it arrives. And I'm excited about that one as well, because that one mixes a little bit of sci-fi, modern coolness with a classic design all in one that I really, really dig. Anyway, that's it for me, folks. Thank you guys for joining me as always. And I'll see you on the next video.